So I'm 45 years old. I've never properly raced before. So why am I entering a gravel race? And am I just going to get in the way? I've never been much of a racer. I'm not fast on my bike. My handling of a bike is average at best. I'm not strong, I don't lay down massive power, and whilst I'm okay on a climb, I'm certainly not Tom Pidcock. With this glorious gravel race series, it makes it quite clear that all abilities are welcome. And that's lovely. And whilst they might be welcome to give a load of money to Glorious Gravel, I'd actually welcome by the riders that want to compete, so the competitors want a load of people that don't really know what they're doing, taking up space, slowing them down, and potentially impacting on their ability to win the race. I tried one last year over at Thetford, and part of me absolutely hated it. I'm not going to lie to you. I went through an emotional crisis before, during and after. But like a lot of us weird people, gradually afterwards I felt like I'd actually enjoyed being out of my comfort zone and I wanted to do it again. And that's why I signed up for the Sherwood Forest Trophy race, which is on the 7th of March. And there, so you find me about to begin my emotional crisis again. Should a 45-year-old man who's never been a competitive rider of distinctly average fitness get on the start line of a race that people have worked so hard and trained so hard for? That's all well and good, inviting novices and saying give it a go, but racing carries risks, particularly gravel racing. You've got the single track, you've got the loose ground beneath your tyres. There's so many hazards all around you, whilst at the same time there might be that competitive aspect of you, just going faster than really you can handle. And so, yeah, it's great that it's an organised race, so there's going to be medics around and other things for you if you do have an accident. Far better than today when, if I fall off my bike right now, who knows when I'll get found. But does Glorious Gravel or any other race organiser have a bit of a responsibility towards novices that they're encouraging to ride in the race? I know this sounds quite stupid, but should there be like a minimum standard allowed? How you do that in terms of handling, fitness, I don't know. It's lovely to be all inclusive and say anyone can ride in the race, but I question whether I'm good enough to, and I'm sure there's others that have that same question going in their heads. And actually, are we endangering ourselves? Or more importantly, others.
And vitamins, I tell the times of tales of principles when I begin. It's not very nice, and hell, I've seen it all in vitamin. And only time can tell the nights.
Now I live not too far from Colchester, over in Essex, and they've got an outdoor racetrack. It's a mile-long loop, and a local cycle shop in the area organises a race every Tuesday night during the spring and summer months. And I went plenty of times last year. It's called the Hare and Hounds. Now I really benefited from that. My fitness really increased because for an hour a week on a Tuesday night, I was pushing as hard as I could around the track on my bike. My handling improved, my health and particularly my fitness was just the best it could be. And so I had lots and lots of benefits from it. And I think that's what led me to then consider giving it a go on a gravel race as well, doing more than just a controlled 1 mile circuit. But even in that, there's 3 categories. And it's called Hare and Hound. So the slowest category went first, then the mediums, and then the fast ones. And obviously you didn't want to get caught, but you got caught quite quickly, and the fast group would win. Or someone from the fast group would win, and those in that slower group would obviously come last. So I'm in that slow group, and I'm using it as exercise. I'm taking more turns on the front than I should do. I'm not there to draft or anything like that. I want to exercise, so I'm doing stupid amount of turns on the front because I'm not winning, so who cares? But again, that's me turning up at a race where all levels are welcome. Yet I'm at a race that's competitive, that I cannot win. I stand no chance to win whatsoever. I'm just taking up a space on the circuit. And whilst the fitness benefit for me personally was great, and I'm sure the shop didn't mind taking my money, should I actually have done it? Or should I have stood aside and let someone that's actually got a chance of winning or competing have my place?
I've been a fool and witnessed in the walls are sinking in. Without a pause, I see these intervals all interlink. I'm lyrical, I watch the silver spoon turn into pink. I'm running thin on ink, my tentacles begin to drink. Yeah. So anything could happen.
But then I remember that winning was never the goal. It was the fact that that race environment gave me a structure of training which I could replicate in no other way whatsoever. I'd push myself so much harder in there, you know, getting my record watts, doing my record speeds, all of that. It was because I was in a race environment. And so it's that was important, and the benefit that I had, as I say, last year was the strongest I've ever been on a bike, the fittest I've ever been. And that was all, I think, to do with doing those races every Tuesday night. It might sound daft, but as I say, I wasn't racing to beat people, I was racing to beat myself. And that's what I found in that Thetford race as well, in that I actually managed all 4 laps to be of a similar time, and that was all about just pushing myself more and more each time. The more tired I was getting, I was pushing myself just to keep it going. And that fitness benefit that I've got and those endorphins that came out afterwards, that was what made it worthwhile. So if I can give anyone any words of advice that's thinking of taking part either on road races, track races or gravel races that's perhaps in a similar position to me, is to ride consistently. So try and keep your pace in a consistent manner. Don't slam on your brakes if you can help it. Try and ride on a line, keep that line, don't swerve about left, right and centre. If there's someone that's faster than you, that's behind you, whilst you might feel conscious of it, just relax. They know what they're doing. When that gap comes, they'll go past you. Being slower doesn't make you the problem. Riding unpredictably does. So, at the start of the ride, I mentioned my age at being 45. And I know from my demographic of people that watch this video, some of you are older and some of you are younger. What I'll say is, I know that 45 is not over the hill. I still feel young, and I know I've got a lot more I can do. I also know I'm never going to be elite, and that's absolutely fine. So as I say, for me, this is about pushing myself. That's the challenge. It's not about winning the race, I'm never gonna, but knowing that I've pushed myself as hard as I can do, and perhaps if I return to this race later on, if I can get a faster time, well then that just shows the improvement that I've made. I'd be really interested to hear from you whether you do race or whether you don't. If you do, what type of racing do you do? I think on this race on the 7th of March, I'm going to find a lot of people that race cyclocross. It's something I'd love to give a go, even just for fitness over the winter. But unfortunately, I'm a football parent at the minute, so I'm going to have to wait another year or two before I get that chance. In terms of the Glorious Gravel series, I'm not going to be doing all those rides, but I do fancy doing a couple. I'll try and do one of the Thetfords again, probably the one towards the end of the year. I think around September time it is. And if possible, I have to check the date. I might do the Sherwood Forest one twice. I'll also be returning to the Colchester track and doing some of those Tuesday night races. As I say, I'm in the slow group, I'm not competing for the win, but I'm happy spending my time on the front, pushing a few watts down. It's just great training. I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your rides. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.